a context as to why I'm here. I'm joined in DC with 50 other women from all over the world, and we're participating in a cultural exchange to do with women in STEM. And it's inspired by the movie Hidden Figures. And so I just finished studying chemical engineering last year, and when you look like me and you're as short as me, and then you're a woman, and then you're Muslim, and then you're brown, there are a lot of complexities, and well, old white men just don't want to listen sometimes. So this was a bit of a thing about that. We are the generation that was born with World Wide Web. Umbilical cords cut, Ethernet cables in, cries overshadowed by the wheezing of the dial-up. Discovered the secrets of the universe through MSN chats and a slightly delayed Internet Explorer. And so, as I was taught to form sentences, I taught my parents how to use email. Met long-lost relatives for the first time through the webcam. My mother taught mother tongue through YouTube videos and Pakistani dramas. My dad kept a roof over our head and books in our hands after being laid off work through a simple eBay business. The glow of the computer screen lifting us out of darkness. But even when our parents tried to shelter us from the newspaper, I realized that the world hated us before I never really knew what the word hate meant. Felt the end of the world coming before coming of age, and so as we were taught of climate change while being told on the news it wasn't real. And so we learned how to use Google. Made Facebook and Twitter accounts weaponize the only thing that gave us clarity, kept typing as we became the butt of the unemployed millennial joke. We kept typing as we became known as the lazy, entitled, self-absorbed generation. You see, we are called keyboard activists like it's an insult. Yet you fear that we can mobilize without moving our chairs, create movements like it's child play. While politicians play games with our futures, dredging up the good old days because it's easier to find comfort in the past when someone else sits behind the keyboard and defines what's next. Moving to the same tune on a broken record while we scream and tell you not to repeat history. You see, we are rewriting histories. Telling lost stories, bringing brown bodies and yellow bodies and bodies that don't fit into any molds into existence, onto Instagram catwalks, celebrating fast fashion, modest fashion, things that I thought would never look good on my body fashion. My culture isn't a commodity fashion, my body isn't an invitation fashion, yet we are shallow and dissatisfied. We are revolutionizing the Renaissance, speaking in poetry and prose at the same time and making you listen to voices that sound different to yours, yet speak the same language. We are creating art through pixels and paint, and making you look at the world outside the lines you have drawn. We are asking questions that you do not have answers to, and so we are making you uncomfortable. But we are misinformed and misunderstood. We are rediscovering parts of ourselves we were told to forget. Planting foreign roots on familiar soils and watching them bloom, I am going back to where I came from. I am navigating realms without maps and creating them at the same time for the downtrodden and forgotten. To find a home in forums and subreddits, Twitter threads and Facebook groups, and we build viral bridges over real and rough seas so that distance is a thing of the imagination. Yet still, when I can't sleep, my mum blames it on Facebook. When I have a headache, my mum blames it on Twitter. And when I have the flu, my mum blames it on Instagram. And so maybe we'll always be lost in translation. Instead of creating realms, we created universes. Unplug the Ethernet and let the tide of Wi-Fi rise like the high noon, clear skies, no interferences, only our minds materializing dreams. And worlds that fantasy could never acknowledge as real. We are creating jobs that never existed, spreading knowledge like it has never been before. We are telling voices and stories and words through screens. We are creators, game changers, innovators, circuit breakers.